Hi everyone, my name is Bria and I'm Samantha's maid of honor. I had no idea what I was going to say during this speech. I was really hoping that getting up here and singing "That's What Friends Are For" would be okay. But since it probably isn't, here we go. Samantha and I met in kindergarten. She and her family have been stuck with me ever since. When you're best friends with someone for over 20 years, you go through every stage of life together. She and I have been through every bad haircut, a couple sets of braces, 6 Taylor Swift albums, 14 seasons of Grey's Anatomy, and quite a few different boyfriends, including when we had both broken up with 2 of them, and I sincerely apologize to both sets of our parents for what we put you through that summer. From kindergarten to 6th grade, Samantha and I were inseparable. We spent many nights at each other's house and went on vacations together, and she was the closest thing that I had to a sister. And I want to take a second to thank Terry and Angie for always treating me like one of their own. But then in 6th grade, we met the 3rd member of what we now call our Chambly friend group, Reed Palmer.
That's me! Okay, so this is where I'm going to be able to say my 2 cents, and it won't be very long, but who knows, I might be up here for a good minute. Like Bria said, I met Sam in middle school, and it was almost impossible to infiltrate their bond between Sam and Bria, but I did it successfully. I succeeded by dating Bria on and off, all through middle school, and Samantha for a week. And Sam came up to me at 12 years old and said, "If you break Bria's heart, I'll cut your manhood off." Terrified as I was, I still broke up with Bria over an AIMOA message. Anyways, high school was high school and we all survived. College was where we thrived and sometimes almost died. We had many memorable nights in places like Lowry's and Barcode, hence where Sam fell and her ankle was blue for 3 weeks. When Bria decided to abandon us at Marshall, Sam and I had to stay strong with 1/3 of Chambly gone. Sam and I really strengthened our friendship when we joined Greek life. We attended informals and black and whites together, cheered for each other on during Greek sing, almost fought someone when they kicked sand on our big bucket of margarita. We drank a White Russian out of a gallon jug from a stranger, thought a light post was trying to take Sam home, and we have seen what happens when someone says, "Sam can't talk on the phone right now," and they hang up the phone, but that's a story for another day. The first time I remember actually meeting Cam was in the spring of 2013, but we definitely introduced ourselves before that, but that timeline's a little foggy, college. Cam and I became really close in college. I've seen Cam at his best when him, Ray, and I ran our first run together this past St. Patrick's Day. I've seen Cam at his worst when he was wearing this beautiful purple shirt and it was glistening with body fluids and who knows what else. When Cam drank bagged wine straight from the spout for the first and, safe to say, the last time. I've seen Cam when there was no heat in his apartment and we used Remy, who's Nate's dog, as a heat source. I've seen Cam when he first met Sam. Cam remembered her name the first time he met her, but it took him meeting me 6 times to remember my name. So that should have been a clue from the beginning, but yeah, that's my part.
Thanks, Reed. So, like I said, 6th grade, met Reed. How lucky are we?
Not very. Not very.
So let's fast forward a few years. Samantha and I were roommates our freshman year at Marshall. We were so excited over our cute little dorm room with matching polka dot comforters and to be able to become what we thought were adults. I will never forget our very first day of class. Todd stole my thunder last night at the rehearsal dinner, but I'm gonna say this joke too. I'll never forget our first day of class. I was in our dorm room and she walked in and said, "Bria, I have a problem." And I was like, "Okay, what?" She said, "I'm in love with my teacher." And I just shrugged it off and went on to ask where we were going to underage binge drink later that night. And I never thought that we'd be here today watching Samantha marry her teacher, Mr. Cameron Lyons. So if anyone knows anything about Samantha and Cameron's love story, they would know that it took them entirely too long to become what they are today. To be honest, I always found something wrong in whoever Samantha was dating. They were never good enough for her until she met Cameron. From the moment they met, they became instant friends, but both had to realize that they were wasting their time with whoever they were dating. I made no secrets about it. I knew that I loved Cam from day one. Samantha just had to realize that she did too. Hashtag Team Cam became a well-known term in our group of friends, and maybe after nearly 2 years of encouragement, I can take some credit for this lovely wedding that we're all at today. So no matter how long it took these two crazy kids to end up together, I'm so thankful that they did. Samantha and Cam are truly made for each other, and I wish you both all of the corgis and happiness in the world. Samantha, you will forever be the Monica to my Rachel, the Meredith to my Christina, and my person. I love you. So let's raise our glass to the happy couple. Thank you for having us, and I love you guys.
That's a lot of history right there. I don't have the history that they do. First off, I'm Nathan Hychek. I'm the best man. I gotta get my notes out. I didn't type it up. I should have. First off, thank you to Sam and Cam. I mean, I got to come here and meet them in Lexington on Tuesday, and I didn't meet Sam's family until I got here. And I can tell you what, that is some down West Virginia hospitality. I mean, I absolutely love this family. Terry, Angie, and everybody else over at that table, and obviously Cam's family as well, who I've gotten to meet a couple relatives I haven't met before. But thank you so much. You guys have done nothing but make me feel at home here. It's funny that I'm here because Cam is the talker. I'm not a talker. I was referred to as the muscle in the group, or the brawn. You know, I was the bulldog. So when I met Cam, and I'll get into that story on that day at orientation, but he was like, man, I learned everything from my father. Man, I learned how to talk my way out of any situation. and I was like, man, I gotta meet this guy. Papa Lyons over there. And I think we met sophomore year, and I was like, man, you guys are two peas in a pod. If you guys got together, you could talk out of anything. And, you know, we tried not to use those skills in college, but we definitely use them here and there. So that was a good start. But another thing I wanted to bring up is I met Cam at orientation, and he was, skinny. He's skinny now. This is literally the best I have ever seen Cam. I am so proud of him for losing the weight that he's lost. He is not just physically the best I've ever seen him, he is mentally the best I've ever seen him. Him with Sam it looks effortless. You guys just flow through it. I mean, I'm sure you have your bumps that you guys work out, but it is absolutely amazing what you guys do. So that day orientation, I showed up late because my mom thought it started at 8 and it started at like 6:30. So, and I had a 3-hour drive that morning. So we get into orientation. I'm like, man, I'm not good at talking to people. I'm weird. I'm a woodsman. And I see Cam talking to everybody. And I was like, man, okay, I'll go talk to this guy. And sure enough, he was like, hey, you know, you're cool. Sit next to me, whatever. We chatted. He's like, come meet my family. We'll eat lunch. And I was like, oh, Jesus. That was easier than I thought it was going to be. So, and I was talking to Miss Mama Lyons over there last night. And she was like, man, I will never forget seeing you and your mom walking up to the table. And it's just like, it's amazing that 7 years later, I'm right here, right next to you, buddy. So that was amazing. But from that day in the dining hall, it all started from there. Cam pretty much got me into Greek life. But man, there's plenty of stories, history with that. Like Reed kind of spouted out some fraternity shenanigans there that you could get endless stories from. But a couple that stuck out in my mind that I had to mention tonight. The first one, which is probably the funniest, is the day that Cam and his roommate flooded their freshman dorm. And it leaked through the floor into the first floor right behind the desk of the, I don't know, whoever watched us who did a horrible job. But it leaked into the bathroom, and they didn't even know. You guys never got in trouble. I mean, it leaked straight through that floor and did some damage. But you winning Mr. Marshall was amazing. Yes, it really was. At times, Cam and I had butted heads quite a bit. We definitely became each other's big brothers. I can remember the one time I almost killed him when we were living together because Cam doesn't do his dishes. I don't know if he did dishes at home. And he would use every dish, put it in the sink, and then he would wash one dish to use it and put it back in the sink. And one day, after about 2 months, I washed all the dishes, and I said, dude, I'm going to kick your ass if you ever make me wash those dishes again. And he's like, well, somebody did it, didn't they? And I about whipped his ass that day. That day, I don't think I talked to him for a couple weeks, but we had plenty of late night music jamming sessions. This kid loves music more than anybody I've ever met, and he helps me find my groove, that's for sure. And we never missed a beat there. But just like Papa Lyons, we could talk to each other. Mr. Lyons was saying we had an open relationship as a father-son. And Cam and I, no matter what, if somebody was wrong, if somebody was doing something or looked off, we would have late night conversations about, whatever, girlfriend, Sam, school, fraternity issues. It didn't matter. We were there, and we were talking to each other. Just like everybody else, everybody knew Sam was something special. And he was we had those conversations. And the first time I ever met Sam, which was my sophomore year, your freshman year, I'm about 98% sure that this was your Halloween costume. I believe you were a Ghostbuster at the fraternity house. That is the first time I ever met Sam. She was a Ghostbuster. And just the way that Sam and Cam looked at Sam that day, I could tell that there was something special there. Something special through and through that didn't flourish until later, like Bree was talking about, but it definitely flourished throughout. And at that moment, if someone would have came up to me and said, 7 years from now, you two will be getting married tonight, and I'll be in Texas being a zookeeper, I'd have said, you're full of shit. You're full of shit. I mean, I'm sure they're getting married, but I won't be in Texas being a zookeeper, but here we are. And just to reiterate, just like yesterday, these two have a connection that I know will flourish and I know will grow and work with each other. And that's what marriage is. It's a roller coaster. You guys know that. You're not stupid. You have a great family. You have a great family backup, encouragement, and it's amazing what you guys will accomplish if you guys just talk to each other and work it out. But I couldn't be happier for the two of you, and I can't wait to see you guys grow and be there along the way. I know I'm in Texas, but I will always be forever a text or a phone call away whenever you guys need it. That's the kind of friends that we are and the family that we are. So I want to propose a toast that's special to me, to the family and friends that are here, and to the family and friends that for whatever reason can't be here, but to the family that is starting tonight, right here with us, starting this journey, Cam and Sam. Cheers. Cheers. You say your name.
Save the best for last, right? Hi everyone, I'm Megan. I'm the matron of honor. Sammy's cousin, more like big sister. I'm going to try to make this short and sweet. 24 years ago, Sammy, when you were brought home from the hospital, I knew that you were going to be someone that I was going to love forever. And through the years, I've watched you become the phenomenal, amazing, and beautiful woman that sits before me today. You've been a best friend, a shoulder to cry on, my constant through life. I actually met Cam for the first time during my wedding last October. I'd heard so many great things about him, but if anybody that knows Sammy, she had a wishy-washy dating history, so she dated some really interesting guys. But when I met Cam, I loved him instantly. He jumped in and helped. He went above and beyond for my wedding. I watched him, every action, the way he looked at Sammy just screamed how much he loved her. So it felt like you had been part of the family, Cam, since day one. And right then and there, I knew that Sammy had found her lobster. If I can give you any marriage advice, it's that you need to put God as your center. Pray for each other daily, pray together. It's okay to fight. Makeup sex is the best. You'll learn along the way. You'll learn along the way. It's okay to mess up. Fall in love with each other every single day. Marriage is truly a blessing. It's a beautiful adventure, and I look at you two today, and I'm just overwhelmed with love for you two, and I hope that God just blesses you with endless amounts of love and happiness through the years. I love you both so much. So cheers to Sam and Cam.